Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Prosser. I'm going to go over how you do collisions between the bombs and your character, and then how that actually can appear as lives being removed. So first off, let's add a section down here for those collisions. So I'm gonna just go show text so I can make some space. And now down at the bottom here, I'm going to have a new if statement. And I need a comment. So let me have a comment here. And the comment, I'm going to say these are going to be my bomb hits. I'm just going to call it bomb hits. So for the bomb hits, I'm going to test, is the bomb hitting the character? So let me start with that. So that is the is touching code. So I'm going to say, okay, is bomb one touching girl? So in this case, remember my character's name is girl. So I'm going to say, all right, is bomb one touching girl? Then what do I want it to do? Well, I want it to take away a life, but I haven't set up lives. So we have to create a variable for lives. So up here, I'm going to have a section here where I create variables. Remember, variables are like storage containers. Imagine like a Tupperware. You're going to store a number in that container. So to create a variable, because we have to start by creating a variable, which is declaring it, we'll go to variables here, click var x equals 0 or nothing, and x is going to be the name of our variable. I'm going to call it lives. And I'm going to set lives in my game to 3. So there'll be 3 lives to start. Now, it's going to be like, well, wait a minute. You created it, but you haven't used it. So now down here, I should probably say, okay, if the bomb is touching girl, remove a life. Remember, to do that, I'm going to have to tell this variable, okay, lives, you're now equal to the old lives minus 1. Explaining this, it's basically I'm saying, okay, for the variable lives, and you'll notice I don't have var here. Var means you're creating the variable. I've already created it, so now all I have to do is say, okay, lives, for lives, I want the new version of lives, that new, the new number that's stored to be the old number minus 1. So if I run this, it will be changing the number of lives, but we can't see that. So we need the variable lives to appear somewhere so we can actually keep track of what's going on. So down here, and I'm going to make more room, down here, I am going to make a new section. After drawing stuff, I'm going to put a section for text. And that's because you want to make sure, oh, what happened there? You want to make sure text is drawn after the sprites. Because remember, one of the sprites is the background. And if you draw that after the text, it's going to smack the background right on top of your text, and you won't see your text. So let's have a section here for text. And I'm going to have, remember, text is under drawing. I'm going to have some text that says lives. And the trick here is everything inside the quotation marks is exactly what it's going to print. But if you want it to find the value, like if you want it to call the value and print the value in a variable, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to use the variable's name outside the quotation marks. So I'm going to say, okay, I want this text in the quotation marks, plus I want it to show whatever lives is. So I have text in quotation marks, and then I have lives is going to show the number that's stored in that variable. If I run this, now I'll see lives. Now, the next thing you might want to do is adjust the color. I'm going to move mine over a little bit, so it's a little bit over and a little bit down. Remember the color of text, you use fill. I'm gonna make mine white so it shows up better against the background. And you should be noticing there's an issue here. When the bombs go down, it just keeps subtracting lives, which is a problem. And that's because the bomb keeps touching the character. So basically, we need to move the bomb so that when it touches, it then moves away from the character. So I want it basically to move up to the top again in a random position with a random velocity, all that stuff we did before. And nicely, the code is already here. So for example, if bomb 1 is touching, I want lives to be reduced. And then, just like if it hit the bottom, I want it to do all these things. I want it to change the y, the x, and the velocity. So I'm going to select that, copy, paste, and then I'm just going to select that and drag it down. And if you can't drag it all the way down, drag it partially down and then the rest of the way. And now what should happen is if it hits, it should reappear. You'll notice it's disappearing way above the character, which is another issue. First though, let's do this. We need to add this code for each bomb. So, because we need it to basically change each bomb should, change the lives and move up. So anyway, just gonna copy and paste this code twice because we have 3 bombs. Just like the other ones, maybe you're sick of this. You're changing bomb 1 to bomb 3 and 2. So you should have 1 for bomb 2, 1 for bomb 3, 1 for bomb 1. And now all of them should disappear when they get close to my character. The problem is they should be able to go farther down. I'm going to take a second before I show you that issue just to move this down a little bit so we can see each if block a little separately. So what's the issue here? Well, sometimes if you're having an issue, it can be helpful to grab the debug code. So I'm going to grab my sprite debug. I'm going to say, okay, girl, true. And this is going to show me the outline around my character. Oh, so now it's easy to see the problem, which is the girl's hitbox or collision box or whatever you want to call this outline. It's way far away from her. And that's why the bombs are disappearing so early. So how do we fix it? The easy way. You go to animation, you go to your character, and basically we need to get rid of this gray space. And all you have to do is click this lovely tool, crop the sprite, and cuts it all out. Same with my other sprite, click that, cuts it all out. And you may actually need to do this with your bomb as well. So I've got some extra space around the edge of my bomb. I'm going to cut that out too. Now let's see if the game works. My little character should run around. And if you take a look at the lives in the upper left-hand corner, you should see lives go down each time you get hit by a bomb. Nicely done, everybody. I hope your code works. But again, go back through the video if you got lost in any of the steps. And good luck with your projects.